Back taxiing on the runway.
Right.
Can I taxi it?
Sure.
All right. Break off. I'll leave the...
Dine on Skyview.
Now, because of the turn radius, when we get to the end, you got to kind of hug one side or the other because you're going to need the whole width of the runway. It needs at least 50 feet to get turned around. Carrollton traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike. Back taxiing, runway 18, Carrollton.
I don't see anybody.
Clear.
Kind of little road down here. I don't know what it is.
It's just a little turnout.
You got the brake because I...
Okay, so right now, got to crank it full over and see how turn radius is such that we probably should have been closer off into the ditch.
Hope we don't get stuck here. Should I go?
Let me get buckled up here. So you really got to plan ahead on the turn radius.
Ready?
Yep.
Might have to get out. I'm sorry.
Nope, we're stuck on the edge of the ramp.
I'm sorry.
Alrighty.
Was this cover on there to begin with?
Dine on Skyview.
Yeah, that was just sort of the shipping cover. I just never took it off.
It's a good idea, actually.
Because eventually it's going to fall off or it's going to get grimy and I'll take it off. But until then, it's not really hurting anything. So let's leave it on. Okay.
Want to reset the fuel? Where's our fuel?
Yeah, it's already set. I mean, we used a little bit in the taxi.
No, I meant from the fill up. But you had already
It's already
that.
done. Yeah, it's already done. All right, seat belts, canopy, elevator trim, switches are set. We're on the right frequency. Altimeter is set where we last set it. We'll try to get a current setting. I don't know what the elevation here is. Fuel has been reset. Temperatures are good for takeoff. Fuel valve is on. We did a run up. And flight controls are good. All right, we are good. Flaps are set to takeoff. Flaps 10. Kick back. Extra rich. Throttle coming up. Carrollton traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, departing 18 Carrollton. Track and center line. Throttle coming up. Airspeed's alive. A little bit of forward pressure.
Definitely right in the middle of a flat field, isn't it?
Yep.
You want those in the low 300s or more?
Yeah, I like to keep them below 300, and in the 220 to 260 range is pretty common.
Okay.
They'll warm up a bit on takeoff and ground ops, but they'll come back into line pretty quick once you level off and cruise. And then the oil always works the hardest. The oil gives you a really good indication of what the engine is doing. So the oil heated up on that taxi and all that, and then the takeoff really heats the oil up. So I always like to give it a few minutes just to let it cool back down. It takes it just a minute to circulate all the oil back to the cooler, let it cool off a bit, and you'll see it start to drop back down. And then, so I usually like to pull it back after I get 1,000 feet or so. Just whatever. Pull it back to a more cruise setting, and let everything settle down. So when you fly yours, on that first flight, you're going to have to make a decision between, I want as much airflow through the cylinders to keep the cylinders cool, or I want to let my oil temperature cool down. What I would say is, if you're still, in the allowable range for oil temperature, you might err a little bit on high oil temp to get more airflow through your cylinders. Don't pull the power way back, and then you struggle to cool the engine. The oil's loving it because it's not making any power, but the rest of the engine is overheating. So you might have to balance that, and it's okay to creep it up just a little bit. As long as you're still in the safe range, you're below 220. As long as you're below 220, that's fine. But if you want to run 200, 210, that's all right. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, your airplane. We'll just go on back up to around 4,000. And we'll just generally head back to the west.
There's that little bumpy level, huh?
Entering left downwind for runway 18, next up oil.
To bring us back just a touch.
Tom, municipal traffic, helicopter 369 Papa Alpha, 4 miles to the east at 1,600 feet. We're going to be in the area for a little while. Tom, municipal traffic.
Now, I'm picking up a little, and I've heard it before, a little rattle can type sound. Is that just the back fluttering or something?
Part of what you're hearing is this air vent is blowing on your microphone. Well, that's not doing it right now. I've heard a little bit of wind noise on your mic, and part of it is just the noisy cockpit. The fuselage vibrates and stuff like that. So. This radio has a number of settings to try to tune out some of that background noise. And what I can tell you is that when you use different headsets like this, the radio goes nuts trying to compensate. It doesn't know what to do because it's sampling the noise from both of our microphones and trying to figure out how to compensate internally for that noise. And they're very different microphones, very different everything. And it's just, it's confused, and it does not do as well. If you run two of the same headset, it does a great job. It's just something I just have to accept when I use a different passenger headset.
Well, if you want me to use a different one on other flights.
That's fine, but that's what's going on.
Yeah, we're not getting that. We're not using the radio that much to where it's that critical. If we were we're making a long flight and had to go into a lot of towered airports, that'd be different, right?
Yeah. And, you're going to have the same radio, so at least you'll understand what's going on. And I could probably go into the settings and adjust the mic input levels on yours or mine to try to balance it back out. And that would probably, improve the situation. But it takes a little trial and error to get it there. I'm going to bring this back a little more.
Trim is good. We're about at the level of a few of those clouds.
Yeah.
You want to go to 4,500?
We can, yeah. Get a little more distance. I think we're going to head back over towards Midwest National, and we'll do some pattern work.
Okay.
And so we'll just head over that way. And we'll do like we talked about yesterday. We'll fly the pattern, and the goal is to be lined up where you could easily make a good landing. The only thing left to do is basically just land. And everyone will end in a go-around. And we'll do the first go-around higher than the others to make sure that we practice the go-around procedure. So we'll do it at about 100 feet. And it's really, the go-around is pretty simple. Mixture rich, throttle smoothly to full power. You don't want to jerk it in there because you don't want to cause it to surge. There's no accelerator pump in this thing. So if you just ram it forward, you get immediate extra air flowing. But it takes just a fraction of a second for the fuel to start flowing also because of the design of the carburetor.
Right.
So if you just ram it forward, it'll go lean for a half a second, and you'll get a little bit of a cough until it catches up. And that can make you think the engine is having a serious problem. It's not really a serious problem. It's just understanding the mechanics of the carburetor. You increased it so fast the fuel flow couldn't keep up with the airflow, and you overleaned it, and you got that cough for a half a second, and then it smoothed back out. So we just roll the power on nice and smooth, 1 to 3 seconds, coming up to full power. And you will feel that pitch. As the power comes up, the nose will dart up. Because we're probably carrying up elevator. Because we're making our landing. So we're probably trimmed it with a little bit of back pressure. And so all that back pressure, when the power comes up, the nose is going to dart up. So we have to control the pitch. Just like for any other airplanes.
All right.
So
since we're going to do that, I don't need to go all the way to 4,500 because we'll be just coming right down on it.
Yeah, we have... we've got about 30 miles or so it'll take us 15 minutes or so to fly past her back. So on the way back, we can, if you have something in mind that you would like to practice, if you want to do a couple more turns on the way back, or if you just want to practice some straight and level cruise flight, that's all good with me. Whatever you'd like to practice.
Okay. I just say let's Let's do that. We could do slow flight at some point too, so that it helps me to learn to slow it down.
Okay.
Now you leave this set where it is even for slow flight, right?
Well, it's really depending on the throttle position.
Okay.
So anything 2700 and below, it needs to be leaned anyway. Above that, when I start getting into that full power, I need to be full wrench to keep the engine happy. So if I do slow flight at this power setting, I'll just leave it. If I'm going to go to a higher power setting, I'll make sure I richen it back up.
Well, the air seems a little cooler than it was going the other direction.
Yeah.
For some reason or another. Or maybe I just have it aiming to me differently. But pretty much once you get it set, I'm not putting any pressure on it at all.
Right. Yeah, when the air is smooth, it's wonderful just cruising along. I love it.
Well, when I was talking to Dynon, because I was looking at different systems, all the guy was telling me, you need an autopilot. Sonics needs an autopilot. I said, well, I've seen a few blogs where people have an autopilot, but most people don't.
Yeah, it really depends on how you want to use the airplane. If you really want to travel, an autopilot will make it easier to do that, just like in a lot of airplanes. The difference is that after 3 or 4 hours of flying and constantly doing small corrections, you'll start to get a little more worn out. Autopilot can lessen that workload for longer days of flying. But for a lot of just, flying to breakfast over here and an hour over this way, yeah, you don't need it. And it's a little misleading to say, oh, you really need it. It's not needs an autopilot. It would be more appropriate to say, if you really want to do a lot of traveling, you will really enjoy an autopilot.
Right, this guy was just trying to sell more. When I went to get the avionics, I was totally naive about what it was going to cost to do it, because you read their website and they say a full EFIS under $3,000.
Yeah.
But that ain't all the parts that make the EFIS work.
Right.
You would think that's what they meant, because they'll talk about the EFIS doing engine monitoring and fuel flow and all that, but they don't add in there if you have this other equipment.
Right. Yeah, that's one of the nice things that Dynon did. When they first released the Skyview, that was their first system. That was very modular. They put together a little flow chart that described how you would put all the parts together to make a complete system. You would do this and do this and do this, and a couple of different scenarios to walk you through how you would build a system. Because at the time, everything before that was one box. You bought a box that did something and you put it in. Even the Dynon systems were all self-contained. So I spent some time, studying that flow chart to figure out, what do I want? What do I need? All right, so there's the 12-mile ring. The Midwest has just passed it, so it's about 15 miles out. All right, let's do a little bit of slow flight while we're still out here.
All right.
So I'm going to reduce power in stages and let you kind of get slowed down. And what I want you to do is just work on maintaining the right pitch attitude. So I'm going to bring it back a little bit. So based on the current power setting, we will settle into some trim airspeed. If we don't have enough power to maintain level flight, we'll keep pulling and pulling and pulling until we eventually stall, because we don't have enough power to maintain level flight. So what we'll do is we'll get slowed down to around 70 or 60 or somewhere in that range, and we'll add enough power so we can hold that at that level flight. Okay, it looks like bring in a little bit of power. Okay, now just try to hold it at 65. I'm going to put some flaps down. Notice the pitch change.
I didn't really expect to climb, though.
Well, again, we are sitting at very close to that, best angle of climb. So if we have any excess power at all, it's going to want to climb at that angle of attack. Okay, let's do a 90-degree turn to the right, and the key in slow flight is just nice and gentle. 10-degree banks. And you feel all that turbulence on the bottom of the floor as the air is spilling off the prop, and fairly turbulent. We're feeling it in the floorboards. Okay, and then a 90 back the other way. Now see how the nose has creeped up a little bit? Our speed is bleeding off. Here you go. Okay, let's do a 90 back the other way now.
Picked up speed, I don't know. Seems like the nose is high to me.
It is a little bit.
I guess it catches up. This catches up with it.
Yeah. So the key, okay, that's go back to the left again. The key is to watch your nose position. And again, you know what level looks like. You know what a climb attitude looks like. You're somewhere in that realm of nose position. And you cross-check with your airspeed indicator. Okay. All right, so let's just go straight out over this way, and we're going to recover to normal flight. So I'm going to bring the flaps up. You'll feel the pitch change. And we'll just recover to normal level flight. And actually, we're going to start coming down. Midwest National's right out over there.
Wind 170 at 6, visibility 10, thunderstorm in the vicinity. Clear below 12,000, temperature 29 Celsius, dew point 21, altimeter 002, remark. Density altitude 2,500, lightning distance northwest.
Yeah, that storm cell is still just sort of sitting out there. Okay, let's, we got our 4,000 foot ring there, so let's start coming down. We'll stay over here. We don't want to get any closer till we're below it. I'm going to bring this down, and just a descent of, you know, somewhere 110, 130, somewhere in that range.
Midwest traffic, sky 52521 is 2 miles southeast, approaching for landing 18 Midwest.
Midwest traffic, Cessna 957's on the left downwind for 18 Boonville.
Yeah, I'm right there.
I don't know. It's one of those guys.
Trying to stay out of the ring.
Yeah, we're below the outer ring, so
Midwest traffic, South 521, left downwind 18 Midwest.
So we turn back.
Yeah, we need to drop down to 2,000, and then we're going to pick up a 45. So just a gradual kind of turn to a 45 will be good. We want to be 2,000 feet is a good pattern altitude. I want to make the radio call here.
Sure, it's Midwest.
Midwest National, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike. 2 miles southeast, we'll be entering on a 45 for 18 Midwest National. Okay, I'm going to bring some power back in, and we'll just come on in at 2,000 feet. Okay, yeah, I'm sure you have it in sight. It's right out in front of us. So this is a good 45 for downwind. I'm going to turn this off. All right, so we're going to fly the pattern. I'll talk you through. The speeds and the call-outs and all that. And the goal is that we're going to be configured at around 70 on final, lined up with the runway, and at 100 feet we're going to go around.
So we want about 120 on the downwind.
Yeah, 120 is really about our maximum. We don't want to be any faster than that. It just makes it harder to get slowed down.
All right.
Now, it's going to be hard from that seat. You're not going to be able to see real well, so we're probably going to want to fly a wider pattern so that you can see it. Otherwise, you're going to be right on top of it. I apologize for that. It's just sort of the way it is.
Oh, I understand. I got it.
Midwest National traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, downwind 18 Midwest National. Okay, so we're looking pretty good. We're on downwind, we're at pattern altitude. Our speed is good, we're in that 120 to 100 range.
You're going to handle the throttle on the first one for sure?
Yep. I'll handle the throttle, I'll handle the trim.
All right. All right, so is this about when you put the flap in?
Well, I'll beam our touchdown point. We're going to make our first reduction and start slowing to 100. So we're beam the touchdown point, so we'll make our power reduction, start slowing, and as we slow, we'll need a little bit of trim. So I'm going to roll in about half trim and let it start slowing. When we're below 100, then we can put flaps on. I'm going to go ahead and put flaps down for you. First notch of flaps. And we want to be around 90 or so on this phase of the downwind. Okay, we're good to turn. You can go ahead and turn base. And as we turn, we're going to want to be slowing to around 80. Don't have to get there all at once, but that's about what our target is. Midwest National, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, base 18, touch and go, Midwest National. Our power is good because we are flying a wider pattern, so we're going to need to keep the power on so we don't come up short. Power's good, I'm not going to touch it. I want you just to work with the pitch attitude, and you got to be slow. It won't react immediately. So small changes in the nose to get your pitch attitude. This is looking pretty good, right about where you are. That's a good pitch attitude. Can you see the runway okay?
Midwest traffic, Sky 521 on downwind 418 Midwest.
Okay, and as we turn, we're going to control our angle of turn, our bank angle, so that we roll out lined up with the runway, and we want to be around about 70. Midwest National, Sonic, Spinal 18. Okay, now see how the nose is quite low right now? We're kind of diving at the ground. We would pull the power back a little bit, raise the nose to get so raise the nose up. That's probably enough to slow us to 70. We'd bring some power back off, and we control our runway alignment. From here, we're in a not bad position, but we'll go ahead and do it again. So, go around, mixture goes rich, throttle comes rolling on, control the pitch. And then climb out at, 190, something like that. Okay, bring the nose up. We want to climb out, so go ahead and bring the nose up. There you go. And notice we're a little over flap speed right now. So bring the nose up a little more. There we go.
Oh, okay. That, I missed.
And then I'm going to reset the trim, so you're going to feel a change. Trim back to normal. Okay?
All right. I missed the stay under the 100.
Well, and we want to save the flaps, and we also our whole goal is to climb back out. So we could fly low at 120, but we don't want to fly low. We want to climb back out. So raise the nose up and start climbing. Okay, we're clear. We can make our crosswind turn. And we're coming up on pattern altitude. So by the time you get on downwind, we'll be there. I'm going to start bringing this back a little bit.
Midwest traffic, Sky 521 on final 418, touch and go, Midwest.
All right. Throttle is good. Midwest National, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, downwind 18. All right, so we're looking good. We're at about pattern altitude. we're a little close for where you're sitting. So maybe just jog out a little bit, give you a little bit easier time to see it. When you're flying on this seat, that's perfect. But
yeah, I got you.
Now, this is not bad practice because you're going to go into controlled fields with right traffic, and you're going to have to make right traffic, which is going to look exactly the same on the wrong side of the airplane. So it's all good practice. It's just not, this is not your normal practice. All right, we're a Beamer touchdown point. Bring the power back on the first reduction. Start slowing to below 100, and as you slow, we'll put in some trim. There's about half trim. We're below 100. Now we can get some flaps on. Go ahead and put flaps 10. This one's kind of hard because it's, there you go.
That wasn't too smooth, but...
No, and it's hard on this side because from here you can pull them over. On that side you have to push it over. It's awkward, so. Okay, we're in a good spot, so go ahead and turn base. I'm going to leave some power up because we're going to need it. We're flying big. Watch your nose. Again, we want to be 90 on this section, 80 on base, so we can slow to 70 on final. I'll bring the power up just a bit more. There we go. Okay. All right, so we got our 80. Just concentrate on flying 80. Okay, don't turn yet. We're not quite there yet, so give it just another few seconds. So you got your 80, that's good, hold that. Now go ahead and start a turn. And gradual, and watch the nose because you don't want to bleed your speed off. So if the nose needs to come down, let the nose come down. If you're controlling your speed with the nose position. And then if your sync rate is not getting you to the runway, bring in or add power. Right now we're looking perfect. So roll out on runway alignment, pick up that 70. And that'll take us right to the threshold. Midwest National, Sonics, final 18, touch and go. Midwest National.
Hey, if it gets 70 here, I don't see the runway anymore.
Yeah. So you may have to kind of maybe bias on the other side so you can see it.
I'm at 80. There we go. But I'm still fast, see?
Midwest traffic, Sky 521 downwind for 18, touch and go, Midwest.
Okay, so from here, we're more or less aligned with the runway. We're a little fast, but we're in the realm. And we were touched down about 2/3 of the way down the runway. Not a great approach, but workable. Okay, so mixture rich, throttle coming up, control that pitch, and immediately transition to a climb out at, 80, 90, definitely below 100. All right, bring the nose up. Okay, I'm bringing the flaps up. And keep climbing on up. We're going to go around pattern altitude. I'm going to reset your trim again. You're going to feel it moving. Okay, you're back to normal. All right, so one of the things you're noticing is, man, the nose moves around a lot on final. And if I bring the nose down, I accelerate immediately. That's true. That's why you really got to put the nose to get your speed where you want, and then do the power to control your guide slope. Okay, you can turn crosswind. Keep on climbing up. Okay, I'm going to bring the power back. We're just about at pattern altitude. Okay.
I'll go past this road to make my...
Okay. Midwest National traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike. Turning downwind, 18, Midwest National. And I see the other Sonics guy is, I see his hangar open, so he's probably out flying. Boy, what was left of that thunderstorm has just disappeared in the last 20 minutes. It's gone.
Well, it went further north, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, it is rapidly just falling apart. We can see underneath it and all that. Anyway, interesting how fast weather changes.
Yep.
Okay, bring our power back a little more. So we're beam our touchdown point. We're a little fast, but we're beam our touchdown point. We'll make our first power reduction. Start pitching for below 100. As you hold the nose up, we're going to need a little bit of trim, so we'll put in some up trim, about half of the up trim. When we get below 100, we can put some flaps down, so we're below 100, put the first notch flaps, and we'll concentrate on flying around 90. Okay, let's go out here just a little bit further. We're gonna extend our pattern a little bit, spend a little bit more time coming down final. So let's just fly this way for another 10 seconds or so.
Flaps in.
We'll turn over this road here. See this road down here?
Yep.
We'll turn over there. That'll be our reference point for when we're going to turn base.
All right.
So I'm keeping the power up so that we're not descending a whole lot.
Right.
So we still want to fly that 90 or so. We're going to try to fly the same speeds no matter how big our pattern is. All right, you're over the road. Midwest National traffic, Sonics turning base, 18, touch and go, Midwest National. Okay, so on base we want to be 80, slowing to about 70. So we want to be in that range, 80 to 70. So our speed is climbing, so go ahead and bring the nose back up, and we'll slow it down again. There you go, hold that right there, and we'll let it settle into. Bring the nose up a bit more, there you go, right there.
Midwest traffic, Sky 521 departing to the southwest, Midwest.
Okay, go ahead and start your turn to final. And then watch your nose, see how it's climbing up high? So there you go, you want to keep it around the horizon. All right, I'm going to bring this back a little bit. I'm going to dial in some more trim for you. And I want you to work on 70. Try to hold 70. And we'll control our glide path with our power. So pitch the nose for 70, and then just hold it there. Okay, we're looking good. We're aiming for just a little bit past the threshold. Our rate of descent is looking good. I can see the nose creeping underneath us, so we got a little too much power. All I got to do is bring the power back a smidge and hold that pitch attitude. Don't dive it. Hold that pitch attitude. Hold your 70, and let the glide path adjust with the lack of power, and it'll start descending us back to where we want to be. And I can make another evaluation. Looks like we might still have just a bit too much power. That's okay. Hold that nose position and bring the power back a little bit more. So we're just going to hold that. All right, good. Just do your best to hold this 70-mile-an-hour descent, and we're just aiming basically right down for the runway. All right, that looks good. So, going to go around. So, mixture goes full rich. Throttle coming up. Right. We're going to control the initial pitch and then establish a climb out. Coming up on 100. Bring it back. There you go. And climb us on out.
At first, to keep it at 90, I have to push forward.
Yeah. All right, flaps are coming up. I'm going to reset your trim. Got a lot of trimming right now, so you'll feel the pressure on the stick, you know. All right, good, good.
It sure looked like I was going to land at the other end of the runway.
Well, if we'd have kept doing what we were doing, we probably would have.
Okay. But the nose seemed so high.
Yeah, I really wanted you to get, got to get that airspeed, and you're going to use power, to get you to the threshold. Okay, you can go ahead and turn crosswind, go on climbing up the pattern. I really wanted you to spend at least a cycle or two really watching the nose.
All right.
And don't worry about so much where your flight path is going. We'll get there eventually.
Okay.
Okay,
I lose sight of the runway, so.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do that one more time, and then we're going to go to full flaps, and you're going to see the difference that full flaps make. Full flaps is going to get the nose down, and it's going to be a lot more drag, so it's a whole lot easier to hit that glide slope. But one more time to really get that 70-mile-an-hour glide coming down. All right, we're at pattern altitude, power coming back. Midwest National traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, downwind 18, Midwest National.
I'd say we still have a little too much power. Did you want to do this, Annie?
All right, we're abeam the touchdown point.
So we're going to go out a little further?
Yep.
Okay. Beam the touchdown so you can bring throttle back, okay?
Yep, so abeam the touchdown, make our first power reduction. And again, I'm not chopping it all the way to idle. We can do that, but I don't recommend early on. You want to fly a nice, predictable pattern. You want to fly down to the runway, not pull off a gliding landing to the runway on your first flight.
All right.
Okay, we're below flap speed. We can put our flaps down, put in a little bit of trim to take care of some of that pressure. Now we'll bring the power back up just a bit because we're going to need it. And we're working on that 90.
All right, there's our road.
All right. Midwest National traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, base 18, touch and go, Midwest National. All right, good. So we're looking good. We're right in that zone of around 80. That's where we want to be. Our power is good. We're not descending too fast. So we'll hold this, what we got here, until we get ready to turn final.
Ready?
Yep. All right, watch that nose. It's creeping up a little bit. There you go. Gotta keep that on the horizon. All right. Now, pick up your 70 and we'll adjust power. Once we have our 70, so I can see that we're going to fly way past it. I'm going to bring the power back, help you get settled in on descent here. All right, we're looking good. We got our 70. Descent is looking real good. We're aiming right for the threshold. Matter of fact, we might even need just a smidge of power before it's all said and done. But we're not aligned with the runway. We're way off to the side. So bring your nose over a little bit. Let's get back aligned with runway center line. And hold that 70. Good. All that's looking good. So it looks like we are indeed flying past the end of the runway. So we got a little too much power. We can bring the power back a little bit more. Hold that 70. Don't dive it at the runway. If we drop the nose and dive, our airspeed is going to shoot way up. We can do that. We're just making life hard on ourselves. Still flying past the end of the runway. Bring the power back a little bit more. Hold that 70. That's good. Right there, just hold it. Got our 70. And from here, all we have to do is maintain runway alignment so that the wheels touch down on the runway. We're going to land about halfway down the runway from here. But again, not a bad approach. We're generally lined up. Okay, so going around. Mixture rich, throttle coming up. Control the initial pitch. And then transition into a climb out. All right, keep climbing out. We're doing 95, so pitch the nose up a little bit more. There you go.
I hadn't taken the flaps out though. There we go. I was trying to keep it down below 100 for the flaps.
Yep.
Get my nose down a little. There we go.
All right, we're going to fly that same profile with one difference. When we're on final, we're going to go to full flaps. All right.
Which will probably cause the nose
Yes.
to pitch down.
It will. You can turn crosswind.
Probably giving me a better sight picture of the runway too.
It will. With only one notch of flaps, we have a real flat descent angle. You know, we're gliding in. With the flaps, we're going to get the nose way down, and we're going to be coming in a lot steeper. All right, you're at pattern altitude. I'm going to bring the power back to cruise.
Wasn't a very square pattern.
Yeah, that's all right. Midwest National traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, downwind 18, Midwest National. All right, we're at Beamer touchdown point. We'll go just a little further out because our road's up here. but I'll bring the power back a bit, just not as much as I normally would. Okay, first power reduction. We can slow below 100. As we slow, we're going to need some trim, so we can put some trim on. Once we're below 100, we can go ahead and put our flaps, first notch of flaps, and we're looking for 90. Bingo, you're there. Bring this up just a hair.
I think we're past our road, right?
Yep, there's your road. And in those pattern turns, watch your nose position. You don't want that nose to creep up above the horizon. Keep it on the horizon, and then as you're on the horizon, you can fine tune from there. But what's happening is you're starting the turn, and it's jumping up like that. So just watch your nose over the horizon.
Ready?
Yep, go ahead. Bring this power back a bit more now. Okay, so your nose is up high again. There you go. Back down towards the horizon. All right, so we're looking for our 70 coming down final. We're gauging our glide slope, and I can see that we're flying right past the end of the runway. We got too much power, so we can do it like we did before, pull the power way back. But this time, we're going to full flaps. And I'll put in the rest of your up trim. Now you can hold 70. Bring this power back a bit. Now you should be able to hold 70. Notice the nose is a lot lower position now.
Right.
And our glide path, we got a lot more drag. So we are coming down a lot faster now.
So when we put power in with full flaps,
it's going to pitch.
It's going to pitch a lot, huh?
Yep. So what I'll probably do is put the flaps back to 10 before we do that.
Okay.
So, all right, so good. We're holding our 70 on final, and I'm looking at the end of the runway. It looks like we're heading right for the threshold. All we got to do is just keep our runway alignment, fly it right on down. Now, what we don't want to do is say, uh-oh, it looks like we're flying past the end of the runway. I better dive down to get to it. We don't want to do that. We have too much power. It's carrying us too far. We want to do a slight power reduction, and that'll get us back on our glide slope. This airplane, if you dive it at the runway, you're going to build a ton of speed. But don't do that. Use your power. All right, good. We're back on glide slope. We're still we got a little too much power, so we're going a little past it. But this is not too bad. We're going to go around here in just a minute anyway. And we just got to work on maintaining our runway alignment.
Yeah, I wasn't as working on that as much as I am on the speed on this pass.
That's right. Okay, this is good. So going around. Mixture rich. Throttle coming up. Control the pitch. And I'm going to put you back to flaps 10. All right, and then transition to a climb out.
It's still under 100.
Yep. And I'm going to reset your trim so you'll feel it moving. And back to normal.
All right, we still have flaps though, right? We have 10%.
Yep. And then when we have time, we can clean up the rest of our flaps.
All right.
All right, and go ahead and keep on climbing out. So bring the nose up. There you go. All right, you can turn crosswind. Coming up on pattern altitude, I'm going to start bringing the power back. Midwest National traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, downwind 18, Midwest National. All right, you were touchdown. Bring the power back, start slowing below 100. As we start to slow, we need some elevator trim, so we'll start feeding in some trim. There's some trim. When we get down below flap speed, we can put our first notch of flaps on. All right, over your road. Good, got our 80. So as we're getting more practice in the pattern, you're nailing these speeds quicker and quicker. So now it's becoming second nature.
If you say so.
Oh, there's a big improvement from just 5 or 6 turns ago. That first pattern was a little rough, wasn't it? Everything was new, but now it's starting to slow down and make sense. Yeah, bring some of this power back again.
The horizon keeps moving, though.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, you look like you can start your turn to final. Now watch that nose. Don't let it creep up too high. That's still far above the horizon. There you go. Still a little bit high. There you go. Keep it on the horizon, and you can fine-tune from there. But don't let it get too high on there. All right, so we're at a little below 80. That's looking pretty good. We're lined up with the runway. Let's go ahead and go to our full flaps. Full flaps. Rest of our up trim. And we can kind of get settled into our 70 final approach speed.
And my nose is going to be below the horizon with the full flaps.
Yes. Yep. So there you go. You're looking good on 70. And we can make an adjustment on our glide. So as I look at the end of the threshold, it looks like we were flying right past the end of it, so we got too much power. So I'll bring the power back a little bit, and we'll adjust our glide path. I'm going to hold our 70, and we'll make another adjustment. Maybe I took too much power off. Well, looks like I did. Now it looks like we're going to land short. No, bring in a little bit of power. But we're going to hold that 70 with our nose, And we're going to adjust power to take us to the runway. Okay, now we're back on glide slope. Take that extra power I put back in out.
Yeah, the nose.
Yep.
070, I had to bring the nose down a lot more.
Yeah. Okay, so we can see the runway. It looks like we're coming up just a hair short. We need just a bit of power. We're going to hold that 70, and we're just going to fly it right on down.
We're all planning to go around, though,
We
right?
are, yep. So we can modulate our power. It looks like we're back on glide slope. I can bring that extra power back out. And we just holding it, flying it right on down to the runway. Holding that 70. Now, eventually, we're going to start slowing to 65 over the threshold. But we're in a great spot. We can make a landing from here, no problem. Going around. Throttle coming up. Control the pitch. Control the pitch. Control the pitch. There you go. All right. Flaps coming back up to 10. Transition to a climb out. And flaps coming all the way off. Trim coming back to normal. And we're climbing on out. All right, let's do one more approach, and I think maybe that's good for right now, and we'll head back and put it up for a bit.
It's great. Good, good, very good. Thank you.
All right, pattern altitude. I'm going to bring the power back to cruise. Midwest National traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike. Downwind 18 Midwest National.
Central traffic, Charlie 1702 Romeo, 10 miles to the west, inbound, runway 18 Central.
All right, we're beam our touchdown point. First power reduction. As we slow, we're going to need some elevator trim. Put in some trim. Slow to below flap speed of 100, so we're below. First notch of flaps. And working on that 90. All right, there's our road.
Bentonville traffic, Charlie 02 Romeo 5 miles to the west, inbound runway 18 Bentonville.
Midwest National traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, pace 18, Midwest National. Okay, so we're on our base, we're looking for 80.
Today, Regional Cat 2369 is 4 miles east, inbound.
Go ahead and start your turn.
Downwind runway 18 today.
Watch the nose, it's creeping up. Keep it down on the horizon. There you go. Good. Now we got pretty good runway alignment. We can fine tune it here and get lined up perfect. And we're close to our 70, so we can kind of get our pitch to nail our 70. We'll go just a little bit closer and then we'll go to full flaps. All right, that looks good. Full flaps coming on. Rest of our trim. And I'm going to bring the power back a bit. Kind of get configured on a more normal final approach power setting.
Today, Regional Cat 2369 is joining a left downwind runway 18 full stop today.
Okay, so we got our 70. We're just a little slow, and we can see that we're coming up short. We need more power. We'll bring up a couple hundred RPM of power. Let it correct our glide path. We're going to continue to hold our 70. Okay, see how the nose is getting low and our speed is getting high? Bring that nose back up. Work on that 70. There you go, hold that. Let the speed settle back in. Okay, our power is a little high. You can see we're starting to fly past the other runway. Got too much power? We can bring some power back off. That'll get us back on glide slope. Oh, a little too much. I put a little more back in. Perfect. Now, if we just hold this, we're going to touch down right on the numbers. Good approach. Going around. Throttle coming up. Prepare to control the pitch. All right, flaps coming back up. And all the way off. And climbing on out, resetting your trim.
Yeah, these were good. Good practice.
All right, we're just going to go straight out, and then we're going to head back over to Roosterville. All right, bring the power back a little. And we can head for that cluster of buildings over there. At 2,000 feet will be good. All right, that's good right out there. All right, we're back on Roosterville traffic frequency. You can listen if anybody's talking.
Tinkersville traffic, Mill 5476, about 7 miles north inbound on the, or 7 miles south inbound on the RNAV 34, Tinkersville.
I hate when there's about 3 airports close to each other, all have the same frequency.
I know, it's especially bad around here. 122.8. League Summit is over that way about 20 miles. Very busy airport. Gardner is over there about 30 miles. Another busy general aviation airport. Then you got Roosterville and you got Carrollton, and I mean you got all these airports all on the same frequency.
The bad thing is when they have the same basic runways too.
Yeah. Gardner is different, but Lee's Summit is the same as Roosterville. So.
Tinkersville traffic, Mill 5476, about 5.5 miles south, and then on the RNAV 34 in Tinkersville.
All right, so there's the school. There's Roosterville right out just past the school. You can see the line of hangar buildings right there.
I got it. So you're landing, so we're going to go...
We're going to land to the south.
So we're going to come in 45, right?
Yep. We're going to come in on 45, and we're going to turn downwind on this side of the school, so we're almost in the downwind right now.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead and aim directly to the school, and then turn parallel to the runway. Roosterville traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, entering on a downwind for 18 Roosterville. Okay, I'll go ahead and take it now.
All right.
I've got it.
Tinkersville traffic, Mill 5476, 3 miles south inbound on the RNAV 34 into Tinkersville, circling for runway 16. Tinkersville traffic, Mill 5476. Tinkersville traffic, Mill 5476, 1.3 miles, RNAV 34, circle to land, runway 16.
Right on the edge of the grass. I drifted just a few feet right at the very end. again, the most important part is, you know, that attitude. You want to get that 3-point attitude. So we were coming in on final, made my turn and noticed the angle attack warning started beeping.
Yeah.
And we just started to drop a little bit. I don't know what happened. Maybe a little bit of wind shear, maybe some turbulence, something. But again, control the nose so your angle of attack, and then bring in a little bit of power to smooth it back out.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they cut about 25 feet out of those trees.
I agree. That'd be real nice.
The other thing, when you take off, I see you pretty much have full right rudder.
Yeah, I've got quite a bit in there. Quite a bit. I don't usually spend a lot of time thinking about how much I've got in there.
Just
So I gotta like try to think back and be like, what do I do? I'm just doing it as needed. But you're right, it's a lot. And that's one of the reasons why I roll the power on slow, is to help control that. On a Jabiru, if you just sit there and just jerk the power in, it'll just corkscrew you right off into the weeds. Aerovie has less torque, you know, right off the bat, so it's not as bad, but it'll do it too. So roll the power on nice and slow. Bring in the rudder as needed.
Try to get the mains on there so you can spin it around.
Yeah. All right, 123. So that's 1.4.